What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to week, 9, 10, week 10 predictions. Oh my god, we in the double digits, man, it's crazy. Oh boy, yeah, I mean, these are starting to get to the really good games, and we've already had some good games. There's been some good weeks, and I hope this is again going to be another one, but I guess let's just get right into it. Starting with the second and last Germany game this year, again in Frankfurt, Patriots, quote-unquote, hosting the Indianapolis Colts, and I don't know, it should be a good one. Colts have been looking fun, Gardner Minshew, he's been pretty good. Josh Downs is looking incredible. Jonathan Taylor's slowly getting back, and I think I'm going to pick them to win. Patriots, they've just been too inconsistent. Yeah, whatever, they beat a division rival, and I forgot who else they beat, probably some sort of dumb win, but I mean, they're a bad team this year, and I don't think that's going to be changing, but honestly, it's Germany, it's the Colts, who really knows? But I'm just going to pick the Colts because they should definitely be winning this game. Now, this is going to be an important game. If the Browns win this, they are looking so good for playoff contention. If the Ravens win, however, they're just strengthening their grip on the AFC North. And at this point, I don't think, if they win this game, and if they beat the Bengals at some point, it's pretty much guaranteed that they're going to get it. So this is a pretty big game, especially for the Browns. They do have a 2-win margin, or 2-game margin between the two of them, I guess. But I mean, it's in Baltimore, and I mean, Browns have had some pretty not great games, and Ravens are looking incredibly dominant. I think they're going to be continuing that. Now, Texans-Bengals. And this really sucks for the Texans, because if the Texans caught the Bengals when, Joe Burrow was really badly injured in the beginning of the season, this would be a completely different story, but they caught them in a hot streak, and yeah, Bengals at home against a lower-level team. Bengals should probably be winning, but, I mean, Texans, if they played them at a different point in time, they very much could have won, but caught them at the wrong time, so too bad for the Texans. Now, Jets-Raiders. We got Aaron Rodgers versus Devonta Adams. Yeah, it's not actually, but, I mean, close enough. The closest we're going to get. I mean, we might get it next year if Aaron Rodgers actually plays, but, yeah. Jets-Raiders. Raiders should not have the amount of wins that they do, as do the Steelers and Seahawks, but the Raiders are certainly one of the teams that have way too many wins. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Brand new head coach. They did win with their brand new head coach last week. I forgot who it was. It's the Raiders, so it could have been really anyone, if I'm being honest. And then the Jets. Yeah, Jets are looking fine, I guess. Defense is incredible. I don't want to say Zach Wilson is getting carried by the defense, but I mean, defense is definitely pulling out some of the dubs for him, but he has been playing pretty well, compared to Zach Wilson from the past. So I'm thinking that I should do the Jets, which I'm going to do, but Raiders, I'm not going to be surprised whatsoever if they win. Now, Broncos-Bills. I'll just quickly put down the Bills, and I don't really have to give a reason. Broncos are awful. And it sucks that they are, but they are, and Bills are. Very, very freaking good team. Now, this should be a very good game. We got the 49ers in the midst of a down period, coming off a bye. And Jaguars, I believe, also coming off a bye. Yes, they are. But, I mean, Jaguars, they've gotten some wins, and I'm pretty sure they have, 6, probably, maybe 7. I don't know. But they have quite the amount of wins. And I mean, they've been proving it. 49ers, when they're at their high, they are very high. But I mean, coming off the bye, they got Chase Young. I think they're newly refreshed. And as long as Brock Purdy doesn't make the same mistakes that he has been recently, I think they should be getting the win. But honestly, with what the 49ers have been doing recently, I wouldn't be surprised if Jags win. But I'm just saying, coming off a bye, brand new player to reboot the defense. And hopefully Brock Purdy returns to full form. Not saying that he was injured, but just returns to his previous form. I think the 49ers should win. Now, the Titans and the Buccaneers. Well, the Buccaneers just played one of the greatest games probably this year. I'm guessing it's going to end up top 5. At least this year, of course. But they were on the opposing side of that, and I mean, it wasn't really that impressive. It was all about C.J. Stroud getting freaking insane numbers. And maybe that's just a testament to how bad the Bucs defense is, but I don't think it is. I think it's more C.J. Stroud is good, Bucs defense is good, I guess. And then Titans, yeah, I don't really know about the Titans. I guess I'll choose the Buccaneers, because I don't know, they just played a really good game, and they're going to be wanting to get the dub, and Titans, I don't think that they're a good football team, so even if they have Will Levis, he did an incredible job 2 weeks ago, and then kind of fell on his face against the Steelers, which is kind of sad. To fall on your face against the Steelers is not a good thing to see, but yeah, Buccaneers, whatever. Now, we got a Super Bowl rematch. Pittsburgh Steelers hosting the Green Bay Packers. Packers coming off a win against the Brett Rippin Rams, so yeah, sure, that happened. And then the Steelers, what do they have, 5 wins? That's like at least 3, way too many for the Steelers, but I guess it's just the magic of Mike Tomlin, and now he only needs 4 more to go over 500, which is so weird, because they're a bad team. They really are. And then I guess they've just been playing the fourth quarter and getting the dub at the very last second, because their defense is so incredibly good that even if they go against good opponents, all they need is Kenny Pickett to come alive at some point, and then a drive or two later, then they have the win. But for this game, I'm going to choose Packers. Jeez, why am I coughing? But yeah, jeez, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think Packers should be winning. I don't know. Steelers, their win total is not actually, the team that they are. And Packers, their win total definitely is. They're a bad team. But I think, I don't know. It's tough. Steelers are probably going to get the dub. And this does honestly play into who I want to win. I do want the Packers to win, because I don't want a stupid extra playoff team from the AFC North. I guess I wouldn't mind Browns, but I mean, Steelers, there should be no room for them in the playoffs, and they currently are a playoff team, which is, yeah, I just want the Packers to win, and I think they definitely could coming off a win, so I guess I'll just choose the Packers. Now the Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers. Lions, incredibly good, coming off a bye. This is one of the best teams in the league. And Chargers, they should be where the Lions are right now. They have really everything that the Lions have, but better in every single way, but except for head coach, which, yeah, that'll certainly do you. And I think that's just going to come down to. I would be kind of surprised if the Chargers do win, but I don't know. Lions, they've been playing better, and they probably are the better team, except for the skill, which is kind of crazy that the Chargers suck so bad, even though, they're so skilled. I don't understand the Chargers. Now, this game did, in fact, happen already. Panthers, Bears, and honestly, I don't 100% know what I would pick, but I'm like 75% sure that I probably would have picked the Bears. And I mean, yeah, whatever, it happened after, it happened a few days ago, whatever. I genuinely think that I would, because, I don't know if they were coming off a win, but, I've been liking the Bears. Justin Fields, he's been getting better, even if he started the year off sucky. And then the Panthers, I did have a little bit of faith after they got their first win, but yeah, it's the Panthers, and I mean, yeah, I think Bears probably should have won, and they won. So good for the Bears, and they did win. Now the Saints and the Vikings. Oh boy, this is going to bring some Saints PTSD from the Minnesota Miracle. One of my favorite plays of all time, by the way. I love that play, mainly because the Eagles beat the Vikings the next game, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, I don't know. 2 weird teams. Saints have a lot of wins, but it's going to catch up to them. And then the Vikings, Josh Dobbs. I would not be surprised if Josh Dobbs does the same thing that he did with the Cardinals earlier this year. He looked incredible at the beginning, and then just kind of disappear. But I mean, he had a couple good games. He beat the Cowboys, and I think with a much better team, Cardinals probably the worst roster in the league, with a previous playoff offense, without an old wide receiver, and they also don't have Justin Jefferson. But he won last week in like a miracle fashion. I mean, that's got to count for something. I wouldn't be surprised if Saints win, but I think Vikings going to get the dub here. Now, Falcons, Cardinals, 2 not great bird teams, 2 red bird teams, 2 black bird teams. And Kyler Murray's supposed to be back, so that should be fun. But Falcons, they're going to struggle. I mean, with their division, they should have a lot more wins, and I think their chances at the playoffs at this point are pretty much out of reach. It's of course not over for them, but you're in the NFC South and you're struggling this bad. You got to get some dubs somewhere. But I mean, Cardinals, Kyler Murray, I don't know. I'm gonna choose Falcons because whenever it seems that nowadays when a quarterback comes back from a long period of time away from football, they just seem to suck, which sucks because I want them to do good. Deshaun Watson, I guess not really Aaron Rodgers, but I mean, he got injured in other situations. But yeah, I think it's gonna be another one of those, and Falcons they really should win. Now the Giants and the Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, Cowboys just going to beat up on lower level teams and then poop their pants against high level teams. And Giants are certainly one of the worst teams in football, so I expect the Cowboys to do that against them. So, yeah, Cowboys should definitely be winning. Now, Commanders Sea Dogs. I actually just recently learned that the Seahawk in the Seahawks logo is actually supposed to be a totem pole thing, which makes a lot of sense now that I think about it, because I used to just get weirded out by it because it's so wrinkly, but it makes sense. Anyway, that was off topic, but it's probably more interesting than what this game is actually going to end up being. Seahawks, they have way too many wins. They're going to, if they make it to the playoffs, which they probably shouldn't, they're just going to poop their pants immediately. But, I don't know, Commanders, I don't expect them to win. But I could see it, this is really a toss-up. This could be a tie, if I'm being honest. But I guess, I don't know, man. I'll just choose Commanders because screw it. Seahawks should not have this many wins. Now, for the teams on bye, we got a stacked roster of teams on bye and the Rams. Starting with the Dolphins. I mean, they did come off a loss to the Chiefs, which, I mean, that's got to hurt. They did not play their best football. They also lost to the Eagles. I don't know if that was 2 weeks ago. I think it was a bit before that, but I mean, you got to win against the big boys in this league if you want to have success. And I don't know. I think they could definitely be using it right now. Chiefs and Eagles, I'll just clump these guys together because they're going to be playing each other, not each other. They're gonna be Eagles, Cowboys, and then Chiefs, someone, and then they're going to be playing each other. And these teams, they need it right now. There's a whole bunch of teams, Niners, Bills. They're all going to be playing each other in like a 4-week span, and they're both going to be needing this rest break just before they get into the absolute chaos that weeks 10 through like 14 is going to be. And then the Rams, I mean, yeah, you lost to the Packers, which is that's pretty bad in blowout fashion as well. That's pretty sad. But I mean, it was with a backup QB, which yeah, fair enough. But I mean, your playmakers got to do something in that type of situation, and they just didn't. I don't know if Matthew Stafford is going to return. I'm assuming. I didn't really hear that he was out for the season. I hope he's not, because, that was funny. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league this year in terms of passing yards and some other statistics. So that would suck to have the Rams suck for the rest of the year with Brett Rippon. But, yeah, I think they could probably use it. So, yeah, I guess that'll do it for my Week 10. NFL predictions. See you next time. See you.